All right, we're currently in the 3900 block of Division Street in Metairie. Earlier tonight, about 5:30, an off-duty deputy who was driving through the area heard gunshots. About 2 minutes later, we received a 911 call that there were 2 victims suffering from gunshot wounds in the 3900 block at an apartment complex. The deputies relocated here and found 2 victims suffering from gunshot wounds. 1 victim was pronounced dead on the scene. The 2nd victim was transported to a local hospital but has since succumbed to his injuries. About 20 minutes later, in the 4200 block of Belvedere, a female called and said that she had been involved in a shooting incident in the 3900 block of Division Street. Units responded there and found the female along with a vehicle that had been shot multiple times. That female has been transported to a local hospital. She's in stable condition at the hospital. A few minutes after that, a 4th person showed up at East Jefferson General Hospital. He was transported to another local hospital, to University, suffering from a gunshot wound. He's also in stable condition. At this time, we don't know whether the people involved are suspects or victims. We're still working to figure out what everybody's roles in the incident tonight were. This investigation started, just over a couple of hours ago. So we're still working on that now. I'll take any questions.
Where did it happen exactly? In the parking lot here?
So in the parking lot of the apartment complex behind me, you can see toward the back of the apartment complex, toward the fence line.
A neighbor I talked with said that a car had pulled up and they were reviewing surveillance video. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, did you see a person pull in? Have you been able to look at that surveillance video yet?
So looking at surveillance video is obviously going to be part of our investigation as we move forward. We do have some surveillance video in the area. We have seen some of it, and we're going to work those leads. And like I said, we do have a vehicle that was recovered on Belvedere that did have some gunshot damage to it. We're working out to confirm that that's that same vehicle, but at this point, that's what it looks like to us.
Could y'all tell if anyone in the vehicle opened fire?
So we're going to be going through and needing to do interviews of everybody. So right now, we're not going to be able to release a whole lot of information about what we know or what we gleaned from that surveillance video, because we want to be able to conduct those interviews and preserve the integrity of the investigation.
And reason to believe that the car that was found on Belvedere has anything to do with both shots potentially fired out of it, or those victims who originated here?
So we believe it's involved in this incident based on the statements of the female who called 911 and said she was involved and it was her vehicle. As far as what role it played, that's what we're working on. Like I said, we don't know who the victims or suspects would would consider. We don't know which one's which right now. We're working on that.
And we still don't know exactly what happened. We still don't. Tell me about the things that you're looking into.
No, so at this point, we know 4 people got shot, and we believe they were shot right here in this parking lot behind me. And like I said, 2 of them have succumbed to their injuries. 2 of them are still being treated at the hospital. And that's going to take a little bit of time for our investigation to happen, because we need to interview those people. The 2 survivors are the 2 who can tell us what happened here. So as we're able to conduct those interviews, we'll see what we can find out.
Are there persons of interest outside of the scene that you guys may be looking for right now?
Not that I'm aware of. We'll go wherever the investigation takes us, but at this very moment, I couldn't tell you that we had somebody else we were looking for.
When it comes to the 2 people who died in the scene, men or women, do we know?
The 2 victims here that are deceased were both men. Well, one here is deceased, one at the hospital is deceased. Then there was a female victim with a non-fatal wound and a male victim with a non-fatal wound. I don't have ages or IDs on them yet. We're still working on that.
2 men died.
I couldn't tell you if they're adults or not. They're not children. I can tell you that. They're not, they're not children.
What type of car was involved in the?
I'm sorry.
And what type of car was involved in the shooting?
It was an SUV. I don't know the type or anything.
And are we seeing multiple gunshot wounds in these people, or how many shots
couldn't tell you
fired?
how many times each one of them was shot. There were multiple gunshots fired, in the parking lot back here.
As far as neighbors, have they been pretty cooperative with trying to give y'all some information?
We have had a few people, offer to give information. It's always helpful to us when people are willing to come forward and give us information. Anybody who has information about this, we are more than happy to have them call our homicide section at 504-364-5300. It's 504-364-5300, or they can always contact Crime Stoppers.
What's your reaction to something like this happening tonight?
In what way?
For this to happen, what's your reaction? Having to come out tonight.
Well, look, we're never happy when stuff like this happens. So what we're going to do is investigate this to the best of our abilities. Our best chances at preventing future crimes is to solve the ones that happen in the
And is any violent crime typical for this area of Metairie, or?
I couldn't tell you without looking at the stats. I'm not sure.
How critical will it be for y'all to be able to review some of the surveillance in the area?
We'll take any bit of evidence we can get from anywhere. All right, thanks, guys. That's okay. That's all right.